Hail chat, hail everybody in Comicsgate. Happy Sunday night. We are live here. Welcome. Thanks everybody for being in the chat tonight and showing up. We got a good show for you tonight. We're going to cover a lot of the topics of the week. This is Comic Smack Talk Live. My partner in crime here, Rob. How you doing, Rob?
Dude, I'm doing fantastic as always. Things couldn't be any better without a pile of money. Then I'd be sitting on it. I'd be making a throne.
You'd be Scrooge McDucking it up. You'd be diving into those gold coins.
I'd be like, "Hey, everybody, what's going on?" They'd be like, "Is he sitting on a giant stack of $100 bills?" I'm like, "Yes,
I am." Yes. And welcome, Belmont. We got a guest tonight. Belmont, Justin, nice to meet you tonight.
You too. Thanks for having me.
Yep, absolutely. You've got a new book out that you've been promoting, and that is on Fund My Comics and is doing fantastic. And this is your first book out, Smokes the Fox. It really looks cool.
Thank you. It's my first rodeo.
Yep. Welcome to the rodeo. It's a fun ride.
It's so much fun. It's so much fun. It's not scary at
all. Comics is all fun. There's no stress involved. It's just easy going. It's like, no, there's nothing to worry about here. We got a bunch of people in the chat already. Always glad to see that. I think Jolly Green was in here first. Hail, Jolly Green. Welcome, everybody. And we got Phantasmagoria.
Oh, Fanta.
In the house. Welcome. Hail to the chat. We got SF Gaming. Hail, brother. And let's scroll down here. Jolly Green is back now. Hail, chat. So thank you guys for showing up, man. We appreciate everybody in the chat always. I think you and Fanta must know each other a little bit. There we go. So.
Yeah, I was just streaming with her last night. I had my 420 sub special last night.
Oh, nice.
On my channel. So
awesome.
I've been building my channel up. You know,
that is part of the job right there. Absolutely. So no, good for you, man. That's awesome. Yep. So, yeah, welcome, everybody, and happy Sunday night. We're going to cruise through some topics. And like I said, we're going to check out Smokes the Fox, Justin's book, and that he has got it on Fund My Comics. We are very pro Fund My Comics here. I love seeing these guys kind of work their campaigns and get the word out there about Fund My Comics. I got a strong feeling. Like, I don't predict the future, but I think this is kind of where the future is heading, especially with some of the problems we've had on other crowdfunders. And it's going to be, I think it's nothing but a good thing to have an in-house Comicsgate Pro Comicsgate crowdfunder. And I love to see everything that Luke Stone's doing over there, putting in the hard work and building this site up. And I love seeing the success of a lot of these books that are running their campaigns on Fund My Comics. So that's absolutely a cool thing to see. I think all of us are keeping an eye on that and are looking towards the future to kind of bring some of our books over there and kind of test the waters, as it will. Like, everybody's always learning new things, but I think that is definitely something a lot of us are keeping an eye on and looking for the future. So very cool that you're running your book over there. So, you know what? I was going to run through some Secret Invasion stuff, but you know what? Early on, I always forget to look at the campaign. So, let's go right into your campaign, Justin, just so I don't get sidetracked, because me and Rob go off the rails quickly, and then we just end up staying there. I blame mostly Rob.
I can't focus whatsoever.
Most things aren't usually my fault, is the way I like to look at stuff.
It's true. Especially in the comic book industry, it's always the other guy.
Exactly.
That's the first rule of comics. It's always the other guy.
Exactly.
And I'm the other guy. So
yeah, it's like pencilers are always going to blame inkers. And I mean, you're a penciler now, so you can start blaming inkers, but it's like it's the colorist's fault, it's the letterer's fault. It's never It's never the penciler or the writer who got the script in late and the penciler who took extra time on the pages. And hey,
like super late.
Yeah,
super late, dude.
Don't
the
worry.
writers were turning stuff way late.
Don't worry, the inker and the colorist will just make up for it by not having any time to work on it. So
giving up pages.
That's never happened to you, right, Rob?
Everybody loves sitting around for 3 weeks
Yeah.
for pages and then having to give up half of them. That is awesome.
Yeah,
There's nothing like thinking you're gonna make 22 pages of a page rate that month, and instead you make
10. That's just a fun feeling, and it's
exactly
like I didn't need to. Why is my touchscreen acting weird?
Everybody can just cut their monthly salary in half.
Oh, right.
Just be like, oh yeah, shit, that's no big deal, dude. I'm sitting on a throne of money. Hold on, I'll just grab a few hundreds over here. And
there we go.
Everything's cool.
So Justin's book, Smokes the Fox.
Ooh.
This is a really kind of neat looking book. I love the title. It kind of
Justin, where's the 8456 from?
8456 was raised on Indiegogo.
Cool. So
which I just closed down.
Oh, so were you doing them both at the same time, or did you start Indiegogo and then when it was towards you were winding down on Indie, you jumped to?
Fund My Comic didn't exist when I launched on Indiegogo, and then
okay,
I closed it down, and then I launched on Fund My Comic, and they have that feature where they showcase your total from other platforms, so it's pretty cool.
No, that is very cool. Yeah, I only asked because I don't know if I want to do an Indie and Fund simultaneous on Death Raider Wars Part 2, or just go straight to Fund.
You know what you might need, what you might need, Rob, and I had thought about this at one point, is you might need a new variant cover and a secondary launch on Fund My Comics with that new variant cover.
Probably because I'm under 20 still, so I did think of just
get a little bit of extra boost.
You're older than that. You're under 20.
Oh yeah, way under 20. I'm like 17. I'm reversing. I'm age reversing. I'm a Benjamin Button.
I love these covers, man. The artwork's great
they
on
look
these
great.
books.
Yeah, so Don Perlin did the cover for that one right there, the main cover.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
it looks very Perlin-ish. Yeah.
Yeah, and Bob Layton did the inks.
Yeah, you got some you got some pros working on your stuff here.
Well, what was the other? Who did the other cover?
The other cover is Gerhard from Cerebus.
Okay.
Oh, geez. Okay.
And who did the colors? Because the colors really pop on it too.
Yeah, he did the colors as well, and the lines and the ink, everything.
Oh wow!
It's all Gerhard cover. He actually helped me redesign the character from my original sketches that I had from like 1993. I was working with him, and we did the cover together.
Oh wait, no, okay. So Gerhard, he did the black and white cover, right?
It's not black and white, but the one where he's standing up, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and Weaponized Werewolf, who did that?
Tim Vigil. Tim Vigil did that cover.
He did the colors too?
No, Tim Vigil didn't do the colors. Kyle Ritter did the colors. And,
that's why I recognized it. Okay.
And Xevious, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Kyle does a lot of CG colors.
Okay. Well, so you got a ton of pros working on your book here. Like, how did that kind of come about?
Mike Barron did the writing. I met him in Colorado because I live out here in Denver.
Okay.
And he comes to the same show every year, Rocky Mountain Con.
Okay, sure.
It's in November.
Yeah.
So late 2018, I went up to his table, and I've already met him before, but I just said, this time I'm going to pitch my book. And I just walked up to him and said, hey, I got this idea for a pot-smoking fox. And he just said, I'm in. So I wanted him to write it.
That sounds about right.
We worked on a price, and just like a couple weeks later, I think he was done with the script.
Okay.
I had a couple of changes for him. I basically told him how I wanted, the comic to go,
sure,
direction and everything like that. And it came out great. I got to work with all these legends.
Oh yeah, like you got a ton of big names working on these things.
It
I
wasn't
love.
cheap. You know what I mean? It was.
Oh
No,
yeah,
no.
yeah. You're working with pros. It's going to cost money, but you're going to get a book that I think you're going to be really excited about, and I think the fans are going to see the quality. Like, it's your idea, but you got some quality talent working on this to make it kind of the best comic that you could get out of it. So that's it's money well spent, in my opinion. I love this. Homage cover to like the Tony Stark Iron Man cover,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Demon in
'Cause
the Bottle
I,
cover.
I was busting Bob's balls a little bit. I'm friends with Bob. I
Yeah.
always see him at conventions, and I got married, and I was talking to him, and I asked him if he'd do something for my book, and he said something small. So I hit him up later on, and I said, hey, I got Don Perlin to do the cover. Would you ink it for me? And he said yes. So I thought that was something small, you know.
Yeah. No, it turned out great. I
Wow.
mean, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I came up with this idea. I sketched did like stick figure and just like sketched it out real quick
Oh,
on
sure. Yeah.
a scrap piece of paper, and I sent it to my artist. I said, "Can you draw this?" And
Yeah.
that's what he came up with.
I love the bloodshot eyes on him. Demon in the bong. Oh, here we go. Here's your.
That's how I draw right there. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I sent him
Hey,
something
that
like
works.
that. I sent him something like that.
It gets the idea across at least. And so the weaponized werewolf. So this is 2 books in this campaign with Smokes the Fox and then Weaponized Werewolf. This cover is kind of insane. This is Tim Vigil.
Yeah, it's a little gory.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm down with it. That looks awesome.
I let him do his thing. I didn't, censor him or say no.
It's always like, if you're paying for the artist, just let them go. I always say it's like, let them do what they want to, and that's where you're going to get the best bang for your buck. But yeah, this is beautiful.
Yeah, and okay, I see that in his innards now. I was gonna say, well, it's just mostly blood, but
Yeah.
no, it's all the parts and pieces.
But
Which
there's-
is
I mean,
in Vigil. That's
it's
totally
Vigil, so yeah, exactly. And with the dead eagle on the ground.
That was my idea.
It's America. No, weaponized werewolf. What have you done to America?
Yeah. But no, that's a nice looking cover. And I mean, this interior art, you got
This
really
is,
good art all the way around on this book, it looks like to me. So
Yeah, this is artwork by Barry McLean,
Okay.
Weaponized Werewolf. He did the interiors. He does a book called Billy the Kit.
Okay.
It's like this rabbit western, kind of like Smokes, but he's a rabbit,
Okay.
and he's just a great artist. And he happens
Yeah.
to be my neighbor. Believe it or not.
Oh, nice.
That
That
Uh,
comes in handy.
I had to send him something in the mail, and I saw his address. I said, "You know what? I can just walk that shit over to you. You live right next door." So
That's funny.
the chances of that, I live in Denver. It's not a small city. You know what I mean?
No,
the
no,
chances
definitely.
of that. He
Yeah.
did a great job. He likes to draw horror stuff. So
Yeah. No, this is great looking interiors on this, definitely. And it looks like kind of a wild story. Is aliens included in the werewolf story?
yes, we got aliens.
You're covering all the bases and genres.
Yeah,
all in one book.
yeah. The story goes: Smokes and Weaponized Werewolf. They're experiments that the government made, and we're using alien technology. And Smokes is the most intelligent hybrid that they create in this lab, and he's able to escape the facility. And then they send Weaponized Werewolf to retrieve him or to eliminate him.
Oh,
So that's how it
okay.
starts. That's how the story goes.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
Yeah, very.
But those are the
well,
printed books right there, so you can see what you're getting.
Yeah, this does look very Cerberus-esque. The backgrounds, that's
Yes.
Gerard. All this.
Yes, that's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
That's what I was going for. I wanted him to draw the whole book, but
Right.
he just didn't have the time.
Sure. Yeah. No, very detailed. I mean, I always loved the look of Cerberus between those guys, the way they work together with the main character, and then all the detailed backgrounds. Those pages were always gorgeous in Cerberus.
Right there is Jay Lee sketch.
Oh, neat.
It's not for sale. I was just showing it off, but
Oh,
I got
sure.
some
No,
sketch
absolutely.
covers, and I asked Jay if he would, draw them. He said sure.
Yeah, like you got a who's who of comic book veterans in here that are all like super talented guys. So
Oh yeah.
like yeah, for doing your first book and getting a bunch of like awesome classic solid superstar creators in here. I mean, that's way to
Yeah,
go,
this is
man.
my dream project,
Kudos to
man.
you.
Thank you. Yeah, this is my dream project. I've been thinking about this since I've been 15 years old, wanting to
Oh,
put out a comic book.
very cool, very cool. No, if you're gonna do it, you might as well go for it and do it right. Well, let me scroll back to the top here, and we'll play through the your video, your trailer here. Well, here I think I might have skipped over this other artwork in here
That's
too.
his first time getting high right there.
Yeah, I really do love this artwork. This is like really
It's got a
solid.
great story too. I think you're
Yeah,
gonna dig it.
it looks pretty wild. Like it looks like over the top, kind of fun. And Mike is, like you gave Mike the ideas, but Mike's a really great writer. I'm sure he kind of really put a fun spin on everything.
Yeah, we just finished book 2.
Oh
The
wow,
script,
okay,
the script is done and it's edited. The editing is done.
nice,
Aldous did the editing for me. Um, we're going to be beginning production next month.
cool, cool. Well, here let's play through the trailer here, and we'll check it out. Nice, nice, love it. That's a great trailer.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Kurt Hathaway did that trailer for me.
Okay, he did a great job. Yeah.
Yeah, he used to work Extreme Studios.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I
nice.
recognize the name. The
Yeah,
name.
he did. He's doing the lettering, I think, for Fraga's book.
Oh, sure, that makes sense. And I love that name, Weaponized Werewolf. That's a
Yeah,
that's
I do. I'm a little jealous of that.
Yeah,
I
that is
Yeah, I
a
came up
cool
with that name.
character.
I was thinking of Wonder Woman. You know how she has 2 W's, Wonder Woman.
Mhm.
So that's how I came up with it.
Weaponized werewolf, a werewolf that the government uses to track down supernaturals and stuff. That's kind of a cool concept there. That's something you could run with, I think, in the future. As much as everybody loves pot smoking foxes.
Yeah, I see a lot of legs too. I agree with Clint. A lot of
Yeah,
legs on
weaponized werewolf.
weaponized werewolf.
That's kind of a neat concept. You could develop that into more. And I mean, not that you can't do that with Smokes the Fox. It could all be tied together. But yeah, that weaponized werewolf has a real nice ring to it. So
Very sci-fi superhero almost. Yeah.
Yep.
Because then you can have the team of soldiers chasing after him when he goes AWOL.
Yeah, rogue.
Rogue. All that good stuff. Yeah.
Alert!
lots of fun stories.
Weaponized werewolf has gone rogue. You can like the story starts spinning right in your head there. So very fun concept here you've got, and looks like you're off to a great start. Like I said, you got a ton of mega talented pros working on this book. So for your first book out of the gates, man. Congrats. This looks freaking awesome. So
Thank you.
absolutely. Anything else you want to tell us about with the book here? How's it been going with Fund My Comics now? I noticed, so you raised about 85 on Indiegogo. Now you're creeping up on 10. If you guys haven't checked this book out, you guys in the chat, and if you're watching this on the rewind, this book is live on Fund My Comics, and he's creeping up on 10,000 for his very first project. So if you guys haven't checked this book out, definitely go to Fund My Comics. I got the link just below the screen here in the description. Link to Smoke the Fox. Smokes the Fox. That's I have a little trouble with the title there, but yeah, definitely click the link and check this out on Fund My Comics right now. It is live, so definitely love to see this get pushed over 10,000 tonight. So you're pretty damn close already.
Yeah, I thought putting the comic on Fund My Comic was pretty easy.
Yep.
It's especially the images when you're doing your tiers. Everywhere else you get one picture and that's it.
Yeah.
But on Fund My Comic, you can put multiple pictures, so it makes things easy instead of jamming everything all in one, cramming it all in one photo.
Oh, sure.
You can put like 3 photos down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard even the resolution. You don't have to do that trying to guess how it's going to look. Like Indiegogo, which is horrific. That Fund My Comic, you just load it up and it doesn't matter. It just will load.
Yeah, Indiegogo, you like resize the image like 13 times before you get it right. It'll look,
it never works.
Like crap on the website.
Yeah, they tell you the resolution size and you put it in and it's not even the right size.
Not even close.
Yeah, it'll crop no matter what you do. Your image ends up being so small just so it won't be cropped, and then you're like, oh, that's fantastic. That great image I just put up is so small no one can really see it. What the frame.
That's what took the most time at Indiegogo is those damn pictures and uploading them. But on Fund My Comic, it was a breeze. I just put 3 photos in each tier if there was a lot of stuff. Then it cram it all in one photo. Plus, you got the platform fee is lower. This month it's 2%. It's a special, but it goes back to 3% next month, and that's still like what 2% cheaper than Indiegogo.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely.
So you get to keep a little bit more money, and if you got a bigger campaign, that adds up.
Definitely.
Definitely adds up.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And you can talk to somebody in person. You don't have to you know who you're talking to. You know who owns the company. You can just reach out, and send them an email.
Yeah, they're super creator friendly over there and hands on. Like everything I've heard is like there's no trouble getting a hold of somebody if you run into a little bit of a problem.
If you have any problems or have a question, just write and he'll send he'll write you back the same day.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's great to have like a natural crowdfunding thing that is like for the creators and like not just
actually cares.
Not whoever can never hear from them.
Yeah, you're not going to get some customer support in another country who's going to give you some canned response.
If you can even get a hold of anybody, good luck getting a hold of anybody. It's like it's like almost whatever. It is what it is at this point. But yeah. So no, if you guys haven't yet checked out Smokes the Fox, check it on Fund My Comics. Again, the link is in the description just below here. So definitely check that out. A very cool looking book here. But we'll shift topics a little bit here. I did just finally watch Secret Invasion for the week. That's how excited I was about this. It's like
you actually saw it.
I just watched it. Like literally, I'm like, if we're gonna talk about this, I better at least watch the damn thing. I've had a very limited interest in this just from what I've seen. And oops, there we go. Let's see here. Stop screen and let me remember how the hell I do this shit. I love it when I make art look good at running a YouTube channel.
You know what is when Marvel decided they didn't want to hire anybody that knew anything about comic books for all their streaming stuff, they were cutting their own throats because there's things that you kind of know about what works and what don't work. And
Yeah.
scrawls really don't work except for cannon fodder. Like
Yes.
the whole them doing the shape shifting stuff, dude, that shit gets old. Like in a comic book, it gets old in like 5 pages. So a
Yeah.
whole TV show about this, them like who's who and who's really who.
Yeah.
No, that's not. Nobody cares about that with the superhero kind of stories. You have to. It would have to be so clever. I actually haven't watched this because I don't have Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Is it really
Scrolls,
clever?
Scrolls are a one-trick pony in comics. Like it's like,
Yeah.
We've got some crazy superheroes showing up. Oh, wait, they're Skrulls. Okay, let's just pound the living piss out of them. And that's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm sorry I had to do it too, Marcus, but I figured I might as well at least check out what I was going to be talking about. It was.
Do you remember Jim Lee when Jim Lee and Chris Claremont did Skrulls in Uncanny X-Men like 275?
Yep.
They had to soup them up. They made them so they all had
They gave them superpowers because Skrulls were not like there's the Super Skrull, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, they like changed the Skrulls so that they were like a little bit more
Klingons. They look like a cross between Super Skrull or Skrulls and Klingons. They were all they looked Jim Lee badass.
Yep, they were all amped up and like, yeah, Jim can make you can give Jim the shittiest, lamest character, and Jim's gonna make him look like the best version of him.
Yes.
And Jim did that with the
6'5", 300 pounds.
Yep.
Like all
but
of
even those
jacked.
Skrulls got their asses kicked once the X-Men showed up because like Skrulls are like you said, Skrulls are cannon fodder.
Yeah.
Skrulls are like, and even in this story right now, like literally, the Skrulls.
Do they at least know that they are Skrulls? Because you know how when Battlestar Galactica, when they realized it was a lot easier to do drama than it was to do spaceship scenes,
it's like these are
started doing that. Am I a Cylon? I don't know if I'm a Cylon.
Am I not a Cylon?
I might be a Cylon.
No, they know they're Skrulls, but like they're shoehorning in what they want into a story that doesn't make any sense. It's like literally the beginning of the concept is so you've got alien Skrulls that can like change their form into anything or anyone, and in order to start a problem on the planet Earth, they have to pretend they're Russians or there's going to be a dirty bomb in Russia to like start a war between the U.S. and Russia. Like that's the initial concept is the Skrulls. It's like that's how Skrulls are like causing a problem on Earth. How about you just show up in Skrull form and scare the crap out of people and blow something up? And guess what? Everybody's gonna freak out about an alien invasion. And it's like it's so shoehorned into like they
real
want
life.
What they don't want is they don't want to have to spend money. So they're shoehorning the Skrull story into something that they can do a low budget spy story in. And then they even have like a little reason why some of the main actors don't turn into Skrulls so much, because the longer you stay in human form, the more difficult it is to detect you as a Skrull. So it's like I'm like, well, why didn't they like? Why would she just keep staying in her human form? It's like, oh, because the longer I stay in, then it's harder to detect me. And it's like, well, no, it's because they don't want to spend money on CGI, switching back and forth the Skrulls. Like every plot point is an excuse for them not to spend money on the TV show. You know, like literally, it's like Nick Fury lands, and all you see is this dark field. You see like a beam of light, and then you get an over-the-shoulder shot of Fury like walking forward and then looking back, and there's light, and then you hear a sound of like a ship. You never see the freaking ship that Fury lands in, because it probably would have cost too much to like do that. It's like they cheap out at every corner that they possibly can. Like every shot of this show looks like every generic spy streaming show. Like they're literally reusing sets from other shows. Like none of it looks good. None of it looks interesting. None of it looked exciting. Everything screams, oh God, we're saving so much money on this budget.
Yeah. Instead of they decided to make Skrulls terrorists, so humans will fight each other instead of going, dude, you flew here in
Yes.
spaceships. Your technology is so much more advanced than all of the world. You could just invade.
Yep.
With
That would
your
make
Skrull Empire.
that'd make literally too much sense, Rob. So, and
Inexpensive.
here's the other thing is they picked a really bad week to try and tell a sci-fi story of the US versus Russia and make it interesting when you can fucking turn on Fox News and MSNBC right now and see way freaking more exciting action adventure, like pulse pounding storyline for what's going on in Russia right now than watching freaking Secret Invasion, because they're like, you can just turn on the news and have a better movie to watch than Secret Invasion is. It was bad timing for Marvel to try and tell an exciting Russian story.
Like why? It's like, wait a minute, your make believe, low budget, no CGI story falls really flat when we have a government that keeps poking Russia.
Yeah,
because we're worried about the dollar dying. Like no. You see, a war will help everything. We want to poke you. We don't want to poke you so hard you bite us. We just want to poke you hard enough that you growl at us. And you're like, dude, I don't know if it works that way with bears.
And we've already got crazy plot twists where like, oh, the Wagner group is going to like storm Moscow and dethrone Putin, and everybody's like, holy crap, what's going on? And it's all of a sudden, oh, psych, we're just screwing around, messing with you guys. Yeah,
we worked stuff out. We worked it out. We're cool.
Yeah, cool. When real life is more entertaining than your supposedly high budget sci-fi action story with aliens and stuff, like, yeah, the world might have passed Marvel by. It's like, because like this whole episode was a yawn fest from beginning to end. And
oh no,
so there was, yeah. Go ahead, Rob.
Remember, in Captain America 2: Winter Soldier, when we got to see Hydra trying to get Nick Fury, and he's in his SUV and he's got a gun. There's none of that. There's none of that, is there?
No, not even remotely close. None of it.
That's what they needed to do.
Like the closest scene to that was Nick Fury purposely gets like captured in a van and thrown into it so that he can talk to his, I don't know if it's a European spy counterpart in Russia or if she's a Russian agent yet. But like he purposely gets caught so that he can talk to his counterpart in Russia. And it's,
I remember when the Marvel movies first started coming out, there was more action in the Marvel movies than there was in the Marvel comics.
Oh, yeah.
And now we've gone full circle where you can see more action in certain comic books than you see in the Marvel stuff now. You're like, dude, this is not what made you. This is not what made you guys all this money and made you a big success. You can't now go out at the comic books. We're Marvel Studios. We know better. We know how to make movies. And you're like, you know how to make really boring. You make like Loki was painful. Loki was like, hey,
they're just doing like filler material now, and they're resting on the thought that
past successes.
Yeah, past successes, and people are just going to show up to watch the next thing we churn out, and it's why Disney Plus is failing. They don't have good content.
Literally, they're shitting. They're shitting on everything that made them the success. It'd be like if Death Raider made $2 million, and then in issue 2 of Death Raider, I introduce a new character, and the first thing he does is rip off Death Raider's head.
Yeah,
people will be like, "What the f?"
Yeah.
Or I make him like an alcoholic who's a prostitute. Now he's on the street selling his body. People are like, "What are you doing?"
It's classic corporate thought. It's like nobody expected Iron Man. Nobody expected the Marvel Universe to turn into what it was. So those first 8 to 10 years were just gold because they were just running with it. They were making money, so they were putting more money back into it. And then you get that corporate thought process into it, is like, well, these books are just selling them, like these movies are just selling themselves. Every movie's another hit. Why are we putting more money into a movie? Like Thor: Love and Thunder is the classic corporate thought process of, why should we put more money? They wrote a shitty script. It was a garbage movie, but it made a bunch of money. And that's where the corporate heads at Disney are like why would we put more money into these movies? Let's like just pay minimums on scripts, pay minimums on CGI.
Well, they hired Marvel Studios hired a team of people to be able to write Marvel movies the Marvel way. So it was a bunch of people like wannabe script writers that they hired. So they wanted a team of people. Really, what they wanted is they wanted to get people as cheap as possible.
Oh yeah.
To write scripts.
Oh yeah.
And to be able to boss them around. Tell them, we want you to go from A to B to C to D, fill in the gaps. And we saw with Thor, Love and Thunder, what they wanted was, instead of doing an action scene, we will do jokes.
Yeah.
And or instead of doing an action scene with the actors, we'll do CGI monsters.
Yeah.
Which look like shit, by the way. And we're
like it's all instead of like well written, well thought out, having a beginning, middle, and ending. It's like no, just throw crap, throw CGI, throw jokes, and just crap out another movie because it's going to make money for us. And they've kind of burned the fuse on that now. I think with the fans, I think the fans are finally like fed up with just the mediocrity that has been whatever phase 4 this is now. It's like none of these movies are anything remotely like what they were 6, 7, 10 years ago. Like the quality has gone downhill so fast. Watching the beginning of this, none of the Disney Plus stuff, like Scarlet Witch and Vision was interesting in that it was a character piece about a Scarlet Witch, and it was unique the way they filmed it with the different sitcom things and having that all tied.
They dragged it. They really dragged it out. Like
they dragged it out, but it was
could have been like one.
They could like that whole thing could have gone way faster than it did. They dragged it out, but like literally after that, like none of the Disney Plus stuff has been good. Like none of the Marvel shows, like it's all just been like watered down mediocrity. And I mean, the fans are seeing it. Biden must be a Skrull. You would think that, but if Biden was a Skrull, I think he'd be probably a little bit more coherent and not falling down all the time. So
he'd be someone just playing an old person.
Yeah, so like if they could get a Skrull if the Democrats could get a Skrull to replace Biden and have him be coherent and like actually be able to walk upstairs on his own, I think they do it. And I think probably a Skrull would be a better president than what Biden's been doing. So
definitely.
You know what's crazy is everybody knows that Biden isn't running the country and that
he's a puppet.
But nobody's doing anything about it. Like the Republicans, the Republicans are like, hey, the country can burn for another 2 years because then we'll get the Senate, we'll get all of Congress, and we'll get the president because everyone will be so pissed off at the Democrats. And you're like, you do understand that Americans have to suffer for 2 more years if we don't get nuked by Russia, just so you guys can be on top again. It's like, what the? When did
they're content
become? Nobody gave a shit. They're just like, how much?
They're content to wait their turn when they've got when they're in office. When they're in office, like everything comes down to you. You know what I mean? Everything becomes like what's best for me. It's like they'll wait it out. They like this is how the system works. They're fine with it as long as they got elected. Their big concern is making sure they get elected again.
The money keeps coming in. As long as that money keeps coming in from the sponsors.
Yeah, if they have to wait the next year and a half through the crap of what's going on right now, and then it goes Republican, then that's a year and a half of them sitting in the catbird seat, and then it'll be even easier once what
that's
happens.
true. It'll be That's true.
Yeah.
That's
So that
very
yeah,
true.
they're content to wait it out. They're content to the Democrats just, and I mean the fact that like the actual news stations are covering the Biden crime family now is just tells you how hard it's shifted. You know, it's
Or
like
how desperate they are. They can't talk about the Russia stuff as much as they want to.
you're right.
So
Yeah. So it's
they've
like,
got
well, we
to.
might as well
Yeah.
cover Hunter now. It's only 4 years later. So
Yeah, you got a Mister. You got a misdemeanor for like 10 felonies.
yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Did anybody watch the latest Fast and the Furious movie?
I haven't
Because
seen that one yet. Is that Fast X?
yes, don't go watch it. But it's the exact opposite of the Marvel movies, where instead of writing a story, they just have action scenes. They'll just have another fight scene with the characters because they
Yep.
don't want to write any story because it ends up being a two-parter. But they instead of writing a two-parter, they took one story and stretched it into two movies.
Oh
Like
yeah.
I looked at my wife and I go, I don't think they have any story. I go, that's why we keep going from action scene to action scene.
Like Fast X is almost like a Transformers movie now. Is like you don't want to look too hard at the story. You know you're going there. You're going there to see like Dom like swing a car around off of a chain, off of a tractor that he'll like slam through a tank and he'll flip out of it the last second. And like then
everybody
he'll kiss
has
Michelle Rodriguez and be like, it's about family, you know.
Yeah, everybody
like,
has superpowers without telling the audience that they have superpowers.
The Fast X movie is Marvel movies, and the cars are the superpowers kind of thing. It's like they're the same type of movies, and like I am not ripping on those movies. Like I go watch those movies in summertime. It's like I want to eat some popcorn. I want to watch something stupid that's fun, and like Marvel has almost gotten away from like it's not even fun anymore because they were so good before. Like the Fast X movies, I can go watch it and it can be like dumb blockbuster popcorn eating movie.
But
and it's
there
like,
is a
that's
story.
what I expect from that movie going in.
There is a thin thread through most of those movies. The latest one doesn't even have that thin thread.
Oh,
that's how bad it is. That's how bad
Yeah.
it is. So I understand. That's why I brought it up because that latest movie is exactly what Marvel has decided they'll have jokes instead of action.
Yeah.
So,
Marvel is kind of the victim of their past successes.
Yeah.
And how good those movies used to be, because it's glaringly obvious when you go see these movies now, they're nowhere near what they were just even pre-Endgame. Like
well, they ran out of stuff to steal from.
They did. And like
Or
the
they
thing
won't
is
steal
there's
won't
a
steal from those
shit
comic
ton
books, you know?
there's a shit ton of stuff, storylines, Marvel comics. If they wanted to plumb that stuff and they got some good writers, there's tons of storylines they could get into.
Yeah.
But it's like they can't even be bothered to do that, you know. And the stuff that they're stealing from is kind of the more recent stuff, which doesn't hold up over time. Yeah, it's just it to me it comes down to like Kevin Feige shot his load. You know what I mean? He's like he doesn't seem like he's got that. Like they kept talking about phase 4, phase 5, and phase 6. Like to me, that's like telling your boss, oh yeah, I'll get it done tomorrow. It's like he's got nothing left. Like they don't until they prove it, and maybe they're gonna get re-energized with Fantastic Four and X-Men. I got my fingers crossed about Deadpool 3 just because Reynolds would be involved with the script. And like if anything, people should realize Ryan Reynolds might be one of the smarter dudes out there on the freaking planet. Because like
with Mint Mobile, whatever.
This guy is making money. Like he doesn't need to make another movie the rest of his life, and that guy's gonna be rich.
Well, what a deal. Because of his celebrity status and because he has a production company, he partners up with a company that needs marketing.
Yep, and his own marketing company. Yep, so he does.
Yes, so they don't pay him. He gets half the company.
Yep.
So the company goes from being a $25 million company to a $400 million company. They sell it, and he gets half the money.
Yep.
And that's
And
what he
they're
did
happy.
with
They're
the
happy to
gin.
do it because it's like nobody even knew what the hell Mint Mobile was, but now Ryan Reynolds and Mint Mobile, like all of a sudden, we're a big freaking deal. Like that's money
Yeah.
well spent right there.
In the competition, AT&T or T-Mobile will buy them for 5-10 times what they were worth 3 years
Just
ago.
to cut out the competition, cut out the because they're gonna steal a chunk of their business.
Yeah, because that's what the whiskey, that's what that gin was about. The Aviator gin. I mean, what do you do? He advertised that for like 2. He advertised that for like 2 years, and then they sold the company. He's saying it's his company.
Yep.
Wow. They handed you 50% of the company so that you'll do some clever
it was just a gin company, and then he got attached on, and we got a legend in the house, folks. Round a warm of applause for our friend RT Bear phase. Please stop. Yes. Yeah, none of the new phases have been good. We are right there with you.
I did like Shang-Chi. I like Shang-Chi, and I did like Ant-Man.
I'm going to drop a link. If you're feeling frisky, Art, I'm going to drop a link in the pontificators room, and maybe Bob's around too. He showed up last week. Let me you run it for a sec here, Rob, and I'm going to copy and paste.
My favorite thing about Quantumania was they finally fixed Kang, and it's ironic that then he got in trouble for beating his girlfriend.
Oh God!
So, because anybody who saw Loki, Kang had that weird, and the whole time the Time Bureau or whatever the hell they were, they had that weird reset time flip bullshit, and that was painful and boring. So they got rid of that for Kang and Quantumania. He was just like a super powered Iron Man because he had his armor. And you're like, that's literally what we want. We don't want. You even let him teleport if you want, but nobody wants a superhero who, can't even get close to the character because he just flips time back, easy. You're just like, what? It's like mental. It's like telepathic characters. Nobody wants to see that in the movies because it's too powerful. And
once you get him too powerful, once you make him too powerful, it's like you steal something from the movies. It's like, and especially with movies with the visual effect is like,
do you want to see a cool Iron Man type effect, or do you want to just have a weird time flip reset effect? You want the Iron Man armor effect, so that's what they gave him. They gave him the Iron Man armor effect.
Yeah,
he zapped stuff, he punched stuff, so.
The phases will continue until you learn to like
it. Disney's got billions of dollars to burn. Billions of dollars.
Oh yeah, guess what? Art. They're burning it and they're shoveling it back onto the fire right now because Elementals underwhelmed right now. Like it's been a box office. It's been a box office of underwhelming movies. I've got my fingers crossed that Jennifer Lawrence's tits will beat Ezra Miller's bare naked ass this weekend because it's neck and neck right now. Or if you want to go tits to butt, it's a close call of who's going to win third place. Sounds like Spider-Verse has got number 1 pretty much locked up, and then Elementals is number 2. But yeah, I'm actually gonna go. Like I haven't. This is what I want raunchy comedies to come back. So I'm going to go spend money in the theater this week and go see the Jennifer Lawrence movie. She's prancing around naked on a beach. That's all I need to know to show up. I wasn't able to go this weekend. It was all what is it? Graduation parties, high school graduation parties.
So you were crashing a bunch of high school kids' parties.
I was pigging out. It was cookies. It was bars. It was pulled pork sandwiches. It was charcuterie tables. I was just like you get like the charcuterie. I think that's how it's pronounced. You got your meats and your hams and your salamis and your cheeses and your crackers. And then they got all these nice utensils like splayed out in front. And it's like, So I'm grabbing like a little fork and trying to get something onto my little plate. And there's a ton of people around, so you're trying not to elbow anybody. You grab one thing and you can't get it. You grab after like 30 seconds of that, I'm just going full fist into the thing. It's like, oh, meat, cheese, just give me, like, I don't care if I touched everything. I'm getting some food. So, yeah.
I have a question for both of you guys. Do you
Okay.
think it is the movies, or do you think it's people have to be very, very selective because they don't have the money? Because Transformers, I found out, only made like 300 million worldwide. And no one's even talking about Transformers already. And the last one made like, I don't know about Bumblebee, but the one before that they said wasn't a big success because it was a train wreck of a story. That Michael Bay
still
movie
made money.
at least made made 750.
Yeah, the last Wahlberg one, I think that was, what is it, the Night one?
Yes.
I think. Yeah, that one still made really good money, even though like the storyline was kind of played up. Bumblebee did not do well. The Haley Steinfeld one, yeah. So I think they were trying to rebound with this one, but I haven't looked hard at the numbers. I think it's done okay, but I don't think it's done.
I looked at it last night. It
okay, so it's not because I was curious. Doing...
No. So what do you guys think? Do you think it's just the movies suck, or do you think it's just people have to literally say what movie we're going to take the kids to?
I think they really need. I'll let you go. I've been yapping a lot, so I'll let you go first.
I'm curious. Let's hear.
I'm not a fan of Michael Bay, honestly.
Well,
I didn't like what he did with Transformers originally. I didn't like any of his stuff.
Well, I'm not talking specifically Transformers. I'm talking about there's a lot of big movies that have come out and they haven't done what people thought. Like a lot of movies are just flat. Like, is it people don't have the money, or do you think it's just bad movies?
Maverick proves that. Like,
well, but that's Maverick is a highlight.
Yeah,
but that's a highlight. Like that's a peak. But then there's all these other movies that did really bad.
But it shows you that audiences still exist, but you're not giving the audience what they want. So to me, it's the movies. It's not the people not being there. The movies are underperforming because the movies are bad. Like these movies come out
in the summertime, you need those people. You need the theater fans to go once a week because there's a new movie coming out once a week.
They want to see.
Right now, they're showing us they came out for
Spider-Verse.
Yeah,
and Guardians. Guardians and Spider-Verse.
How much did Guardians do?
Guardians, I couldn't tell you the exact numbers, but I know Guardians made good money.
They ended up doing well because I know that they kind of underperformed in the beginning.
No, Guardians had a nice opening weekend and it had legs. Spider-Verse is the same way. Those are probably the two big hits right now. Flash underperformed. Elementals is underperformed.
Yeah,
I think Transformers was mediocre. Like it could
it's underperforming.
It could have done better. But like Flash has hugely underperformed. Like right now, they're talking like Flash's entire run might be sub Morbius numbers, and Morbius is kind of Morbius is the movie that everybody's kind of been making fun of the last few years.
I think people are more selective now and go to the theater when they see something that's really good.
Yeah.
So
is that a money thing?
And I think it's word of mouth. I think it's word of mouth is like a lot of people. Like I don't look at reviews online. Mm-hmm. You don't need reviews. You can go on Twitter and just like look at your friends list, and like somebody's went and seen the movie, you'll get a better review out of somebody that you're friends with on Twitter or that you follow on Twitter. And like I trust that. Like there's certain people, you know how you like just you're following people on Twitter, you're following people on Facebook. You've known them for years, you've never met them in life, but you see how they post, what they say, and you get kind of like a certain respect for their opinion. It just kind of builds from like I've read what this guy has posted for like 5 years. What he posts kind of is in line with the way I feel about things. And like when they go and say something about a movie, you take it way more to heart and respect their opinion than you would any movie reviewer. So like when I see people I trust, whether it's on Facebook or Twitter say something positive about a movie, that gets me a million more times interested in that movie than if I saw some review or if I saw like a comic book site covering it. So like I think that kind of shades my opinion more than anything nowadays.
Because like Dungeons and Dragons, my wife
Dungeons
and
and Dragons was a hidden treasure.
We thought we heard it was a fun movie. I expected a little more from it.
Yeah.
But like a week or 2 weeks later, it was streaming already. And I looked at my wife and I'm like, we didn't even have to waste our money at the movie theater. We could have just watched it at home.
This is my opinion on Dungeons and Dragons. I thought Dungeons and Dragons was a really fun movie. I thought it was way better than I thought it was going to be. I judged everything off of their early commercials, and I thought their early commercials were trash, and I thought the movie looked really generic. So I would chalk a lot of that up to bad marketing. But then again, I saw people that I trusted their opinions on Facebook and on Twitter talking about it and being like, man, Dungeons and Dragons was unexpectedly better than I thought it was going to be. It was a lot more fun. And then when I saw it, I was like, holy crap, yeah. And it's almost helps when you go in not expecting much. And
it always does. It always
like
does.
having low expectations and having it kind of exceed what you were thinking it was going to be, and then having it actually be fun and good and like an actual real story involved there. So yeah, like I enjoyed Dungeons and Dragons, but yeah, like it was definitely a victim to its poor marketing, I would say. Definitely,
I didn't see that one.
Yeah, it's worth checking out.
You could just stream Paramount Plus and you can watch
Paramount Plus is on there right now. In fact, I'm probably going to give it a watch again this week just because it was a super fun movie.
And probably, I think he kind of hit it on the nail on the head. If you want to click on that one,
you bet. Let me pull it up here. The bottom one.
Yeah, because I think he, because of COVID and stuff, we really got turned into, hey, you don't need to go to the theater. We can stay home and we can stream it. And like you guys said, you don't think it's a money issue. You think it's a people being more selective.
Definitely.
And people, we kind of got conditioned to be more selective because we couldn't go or we were afraid to go. And if they're going to put out the movie in a month and a half on streaming, why go to the theater?
Exactly.
Just watch it streaming. Yeah.
Yep.
Which is cutting their own throat.
Streaming and waiting a month and a half is nothing to like.
No, like the power to be able to hit pause and use the bathroom instead of racing to the bathroom when you're at the movie theater.
Yeah. Yeah, like the theaters are doing their best, but they need, and like people are judgmental of them and say what you will about Tom Cruise. I've gained a newfound respect for Tom Cruise since Maverick, and listening to any interview with him, like Tom Cruise loves what he does. He takes movie making seriously. He respects the fans. He's making movies that the fans want to see, and he's thinking about that as he's making them. I mean, this guy's juggling millions and millions of dollars in investment money and studio money around, and he doesn't take that lightly. So like I appreciate that out of an actor that could be any one of these spoiled douchebags that like doesn't care what the fans think, is only, like they're only caring what the studio is giving them, and they're only doing the press because they're, it's in their contract. They could give a shit.
He does his own stunts.
Cares about what he's doing.
He does his own stunts.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Well, that's why he said he still makes movies, because for him the exciting part is learning all the stunts and learning new skill sets. He says that's the only why he still makes movies the way he does, is because of that. Because of all he literally looks at the script and realizes all the things he's going to have to train to do, and that gets him excited for the movie.
And Keanu too. Here's I still need to see John Wick. I love Keanu. Keanu's got you go ahead, Rob.
I was going to just say that you know how the first one, the main motivator for the first one was, and then in the third one, because the second one really seemed soulless.
Yeah,
it was just action for
it was
action
like,
sake.
let's just get another one going quick. Like,
Yeah, and then the third one, they brought the soul back because they're like, they shot Halle Berry's dog, and he didn't know that the dog had a flak jacket on. So we saw her get super pissed, and you had John Wick even say, "Don't do it, don't do it." And she just starts fucking murdering everybody, and you're like, "Yeah, that's what we want to see." Fuck humans.
yeah,
But the fourth one, you can't do that again. You can't like,
yeah.
oh well, John Wick's new dog. I'm gonna kill your dog in front of you, and then so the crowd can go, yeah, John Wick, burn it all down. So it was really fun and cool, but at the same time, it was we don't have the soul anymore for this movie. We know we've already burned it out. We've coasted since one on that soul. So we are going to introduce new characters to help John Wick. And that's really what they did. Like now we introduce these new characters, and maybe we can expand the John Wick universe. And you're just kind of like, well, that's not what a lot of people. I mean, that's why I like John Wick, because he had such a strong and powerful motivator from the beginning.
Like it was. Yeah, and I mean, they've ran it out for as far as they can. I mean, they'll probably get one more out of it just because people love Keanu.
There's the girl John Wick coming out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Once they start doing spin-offs, then it's like, So, but yeah,
it's assassin stories for assassin stories' sake.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is when you lose that soul, when you lose the reason behind it that people care about, then yeah, it kind of peters out on you.
Yeah.
But my point was, again, Keanu's another one of those guys who cares about his audience, cares about the movies he's making, and like those are the guys that I want to go see their movies, So here we got the Flash box office suffers second weekend drop that nearly as bad as Morbius. So it's like I mean, and Warner Brothers shot themselves in the foot. They had to have known that this was going to happen, and I can only imagine how bad the second Aquaman is going to do compared to the first one. So that first one was a fluke.
Dude, do they even care? Do they even?
No,
I feel like they don't even care about the second Aquaman movie at all.
I think they want to get as much money out of it as they can, but they realize they're not gonna be big hits because, like, who wants to go watch a dead universe? Who wants to go watch the last couple of movies that won't mean anything for the future?
But wait, no. But the way they set up the end of Flash, Aquaman is still part of that universe.
He is, but he's not going forward.
Momoa's
already said that he's going to get to play Lobo in future DC movies. So
why would they say that? Why not wait until Aquaman came out?
It shows you the lack of control that's going on the upper. It's like James Gunn is out there trying to sell these movies to people, but he realizes like these movies are dead in the water. Nobody gives a shit about this dead universe anymore. Nobody's going to see Affleck as Batman after Aquaman. Momoa's not going to be Aquaman. Cavill is already out the door. Gal Gadot is out the door. These movies are going to bomb. I think they're just trying to get a little bit of whatever they can as a return to cut their losses. Mm-hmm. But like nothing's going to matter until Gunn comes out with Superman Legacy. And then it's whether he can recapture that kind of excitement with the fans. And like there'll be the excitement about new stories, new universe, but are you going to follow through on it? Like, are the fans, like, you got to sell this to the fans. You got to get them involved in it. They saw what a disaster the last revamp is. And it's like Marvel and DC putting out new number ones. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, the old creative team, we got new editors in here. We're like shifting everything around. We're going to do relaunches. And if you have to do that too many times, it gets watered down real fast.
Yep.
Yeah. Look at Spider-Man. How many
Yep.
Spider-Mans have we seen so far?
Absolutely. So,
And then we don't even get to see the villains in the Spider-Man movies. They're making villains into their own movies. It's
oh
like,
God, the new
Sony,
Craven's
man.
got superpower.
Yeah, he's got superpowers now.
See,
I'm
Sony
gonna drink
strip
some.
mining Marvels.
I'll drink
Sony
some
Spidey.
lion blood, man.
Yeah.
I'll drink some lion blood if
No,
it's
poor
giving me
lions, dude.
superpower.
There's not enough lions left. Clint.
No, there
Don't say
isn't.
that.
Don't be shooting lions anybody.
Yeah, don't be drinking their blood. So, hey, do you guys have $15 movie tickets yet? We have. You
Oh,
buy them for $8 online. No, you buy them for $10 online, and then the scumbag movie company then charges $2 for an online booking fee, even
God.
though they don't have the lobby to support all the people waiting in line to buy movie tickets when the movie starts at 7 o'clock. So they're charging you for that. They're saving money not having to have 3,000 square feet of space that's only used for a line, but they're going to charge you $2 for that savings. So we're at $12, and dude, that's during the day. So
that's
in the evening. I bet in my area it's $15. Ticket.
Oh, I'm sure, and the line's got to be huge.
There's no line because it's online. Everyone just buys their seats online.
Oh, and then goes.
It's all reserved seating. Yeah.
Oh, okay, reserved seating. Yep. Yeah.
Now Denver's expensive. Do you have $15 movie tickets yet?
I went to go to the movies a couple weeks back or so, and the movie theater was closed down. Regal, it was out of business. That location, anyway.
Well, no, a lot of movie theaters are going out of business. I think, to be honest, if I was in the movie business, as soon as COVID hit, I would have just closed it. I would have just said, "Oh, that's it, folks. We're not going to be able to recover from this."
It's a ghost town over there. Less and less people went. The COVID really destroyed the movie theaters, I think.
It did, because everyone's got flat screen TVs anyways, and then dude, I don't know why movie studios even try to release movies in the theater after that. I would have said, "Hey guys, guess what? Rip up all the movie theater contracts. We're going streaming, and that's it."
Well,
we're gonna have to figure it out.
The next few years are probably going to determine, because that's not outside of the realm of what the studios are thinking.
Yeah.
If they can still prove that they get like more money windows, you know what I mean? As long as there's that payday at the theaters, and then you're still getting everything on the back end, they'll keep doing it. But once those theater returns start dwindling too much, that it's like when you're not even covering your marketing and stuff, like those theater windows are gonna the end, I think. So, like, did I freeze up, or you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, I think Rob froze. Yep.
But yeah, it comes out on demand or on Redbox so quickly that.
Oh yeah, it's like
I just wait.
Yeah, there's no wait. I mean, it's like why would you try for the hassle? And like you said, that theater's closed. There's fewer and fewer theaters every day, so that means the crowd when you go to it is a bigger hassle. The prices of tickets are more, and the movie quality is just like not what you're looking for.
Yeah, that's why I wait for a really good movie. If I'm gonna go, I like Maverick.
Yeah, Maverick was awesome. They need more of those type of movies if they want to save the theater business. When Steven Spielberg is patting Tom Cruise on the shoulder and saying, you saved the theater industry and the movie industry, he's not lying. He did. It's like those are the kind of movies the theaters need. And yeah, streaming isn't going that well either. There's so little quality material coming out. And I don't know if it's just that there's so much that everything is watered down. And it's kind of like when you got like all the cable channels and all the streaming channels, and you flip through everything for an hour and a half, and you can't find one goddamn thing to watch. It gets pretty brutal. So yeah, a lot of it is just how watered down everything has gotten. And Like I think we all remember the heydays of the 80s and 90s. Welcome back, Rob.
That would be my shit cable.
Yeah, no
They
worries,
said
no
they
worries.
pulsed my router.
Yeah. But
Third
we
time
all
today.
remember the heyday of the 80s and 90s where it was like, I love when they throw up one of those screenshots of like a weekend, one of the theater um, things where it's got all the movies listed for that weekend. And like
Marquee.
there's 5 movies on there that are all freaking classics that you watched 100 times because every one of those movies is so good. And they were all playing it the same weekend in like the early 90s or the late 80s. And you're like, holy shit, like those are all classics. And then it's like you look at the movie marquees now and it's just like
Oh,
it's a bunch of garbage and maybe one decent movie in there if you're lucky. So yeah, it's a sad state of affairs. I think to me more than anything it comes down to writing. The emphasis on the writing. You need a story, you need a good story. You need characters that are going to resonate with the audience, that people are going to care about, that are actually doing something for a reason. And like there are 3 parts, beginning, middle, and end to a movie, and everybody, all the characters go throughout the movie for reasons that make sense and aren't just to like push the plot along.
oh.
And I mean, it's very rare you can say that about any of the movies that are coming out today. A lot of them are just like paint by numbers, throw some CG on there, throw a star that people recognize, and like just crank it out. And it's just not quality anymore.
No. It's a big hurry too. It's a big hurry.
Yeah, yeah.
We see the billions of dollars Warner Brothers has lost because they hurried Justice League. They hurried Batman versus Superman. You know, they couldn't just put out a Superman movie and then a Batman movie and then
There should have
I
been.
mean, because we showed up for him. Wonder Woman made $1 billion.
Yeah. Oh,
Aquaman
those
made $1
first
billion.
DC movies made money and they
Oh, yeah.
squandered it.
Yeah.
There should have
it
been
away.
a trilogy of Superman movies, a trilogy of Affleck Batman movies,
Yep.
trilogy of Wonder Woman. You could have thrown a Justice League movie in there before you had all the trilogies out, but you could have intermixed them all.
Well,
like,
Marvel showed us all how
they
to
showed
do it.
them how to do it, and they just didn't have the patience. They rushed everything.
Yeah.
It was just such a huge mistake. And I mean that's Goyer and that's Snyder and all the Snyder Bros. It's like all the Snyder Bros are like, we want the Snyderverse. Snyder fucked up the Snyderverse. Like he rushed everything. Like I liked Snyderverse movies, but he's the he you want to lay the blame of where the Snyderverse went? Lay it at Snyder's feet. He's the one who rushed everything. He's the one who wrecked it.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. He pushed it. Like literally Batman versus Superman would have been at the end.
Yeah, that should have been.
That's like 15 years later.
Yeah.
Like when you guys start running out of steam and ideas, that's when you see Batman versus Superman, and you've set up a world where you have that story, and that story makes sense. Not just shove it in there in a hurry because Snyder wants to do his version of, Return of
They
the Dark
crammed
Knight.
that in. And it's just is a tragedy the way they did that, and it's just they cherry picked what they wanted to do visually.
Yeah.
And then they wrote a story around it that made 0 sense.
No.
And then it's like, wait, both their mothers were named Martha. Like, oh, fuck you.
Dude, and nobody stopped.
So much.
Nobody stopped to say, okay, in the comic books, one, all the dark side characters and New God characters have not been updated. They're the same fucking characters from the 60s.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't updated them, and dark side stories are depressing. He literally makes he sets up your world to be so depressing before he shows up that you don't even want to fight.
Yeah.
You don't have a will to fight. So I could see how, because I guess Snyder has a really strange view on life, even though he's rich as F. That I could see how he would want Darkseid it's like we're going to do all this stuff, but we're not going to actually think about it. And then we're going to hurry it up and we're going to force it. You're like, dude, I also, not only do I blame Snyder, I blame the shitty Krypton series, because if there was no Krypton series, we probably could have had Brainiac as the main bad guy for all the stories. And Brainiac is a lot more interesting and versatile, and it's not depressing.
Yeah.
And it's all CGI shit. Like it's all robots and stuff, and you can have Brainiac be, like in the video games, he can be a superpowered, Kryptonian robot, so he can
that'd be cool.
thump on Superman. That would have been, and by the time we see Brainiac and we see him attack, all they had to do was steal. I mean, they're stealing comic book stories. All they had to do was steal the video game story where Brainiac was the main villain, and just say, "Oh, look, we made it into a movie." But then you don't get as much credit when you just rip off the stories. So.
Yeah, it was a bunch of poor choices. It was a bunch of rushing. If they would have paced it out better,
and
I mean, and
did you see what James Gunn?
Like,
did you see what James Gunn said about one of the big things he said no more starting a movie when the script isn't finished.
Yeah. No, he knows.
Like, you're like, what? 100 people on set to make a movie and the script's not done.
Yep. No, James Gunn, I have some faith in him. He at least is coming at it from the right approach. I haven't been as gung-ho about some of the projects as opposed to other of the projects. I have some faith in the Superman project. But we'll see. It's early. I'm optimistic. I want to be optimistic, but looking at everything that's happened over the last decade with DC, I'm very, I would say, cautiously optimistic. But anything's better than what the crap that Goyer was writing and that Snyder was overseeing. They just. And like I've read synopses of and articles about what their overall end game was, and I think at one point I read something that was like Superman dies, but he saves the universe against Darkseid, and that Bruce Wayne ends up with Lois Lane, and that's how the story ends.
Really?
That's like, and I don't know if that was what the final thing was, but that was one of the things where, like, once they came out with the Snyderverse full movie on HBO Max, that was one of the articles that was written, is like showing it was like showing what their original plans were and how things were going to end up, and it was like, that's a terrible ending too. Like that is not the ending. I don't know that anybody was looking for Bruce Wayne to end up with Lois Lane by any means. No. So,
well, yeah. I know Snyder has a weird take on life. He doesn't think anybody would do the right thing for just to do the right thing.
Yeah, that's
so he has a weird perspective on life that everybody has ulterior motives. Like, you'll do good things, but you do good things because
I don't want that guy attached to making a Superman movie.
No, he really shouldn't have been attached to a Superman movie. Yeah. I really like Superman, though. I thought Superman was that was a Superman for 2023.
The Man of Steel?
Yeah, Man of Steel. Because life is harder. Life is more violent.
I thought it had potential.
Like, people are like, well, Superman wouldn't have let all those people. Well, if Superman can stop all those Kryptonians and the World Changer or whatever the hell it was, then you are making a Superman that is the Superman in comic books that nobody wants to write, because Superman is so powerful that if you wrote him in a logical manner, he would just zip around the planet in super speed and solve all the problems. And that would be all the character did. So they didn't want a Superman like that.
No, they created a Superman that was having a hard time
fighting Kryptonians.
Yeah. And it wasn't an easy victory. Yep.
And it pissed off a bunch of people. Like Superman let all those people die. It's like, no, he didn't let them die. He's not the ultra powerful Superman, because if he's ultra powerful, you can't write a logical story.
But what they really needed then was they just needed a Superman sequel, establish him as Clark. You know what I mean? However you wanted to do it.
Instead of Force.
I wanted to see the
Justice League.
Clark Lois dynamic. I wanted to see Superman of Metropolis. And for the love of God, can we get like a new villain in there? I don't care if it's Metallo or if it's Brainiac or the Parasite or somebody, but I don't need to see Zod again. I don't need to see Luthor right away. You know, it's like they've been so skimpy. It's like, goddamn, Batman has had his whole freaking rogues gallery around at least once. I mean, multiple Jokers now. And it's like, can we get to Superman villains past Zod and Luthor? Because there are more. He's got his own rogues gallery. And
yeah,
like,
isn't that weird? Isn't it weird that they kept bitching and moaning about Snyderverse, but then Zod is the villain in the Flash?
Yeah.
Then don't go back to that point.
Yeah.
Why are you going back to that point if you're like, oh, that's where we failed?
Well, it was still the old regime. It's still Hamada, you know. Like all these last couple of movies, like these movies were done before James Gunn.
Yeah.
Was even.
But they already realized they had failed, though. You know, they already realized they had failed. Like, well, if
they were sticking with it.
Yeah, yes, they were. I mean, I liked it. I liked seeing Flashes fight Zod and the Kryptonians, and I liked the Supergirl. I liked the Flash movie. I liked all
the Flash movie was good. I think. Well, and like people had posted in the chat too. Nobody wanted to see Ezra Miller. Everybody is done with Ezra Miller.
Yes,
so I think that was the first nail in the coffin. The second, this is a dead universe that we already know is getting moved on from. That is the second nail in the coffin.
And the third nail is why a Flash movie? You've already set up Flash as a goofy character.
Yeah, Flash is not a main character.
No, he's not his own movie character.
Yeah, Flash is not carrying his own movie, really. And that's why
Which is why we saw Batman.
They didn't stick in one Batman, they stuck in two Batman.
Yes.
Let's call it the Flash, but let's shove as many Batman in there as we possibly can.
Jesus.
Can we squeeze a Robin in there too?
Yeah. This is a movie you're going to look back on and people are going to kind of laugh about. And like, this was doomed from the get-go. It's like one of those, it's like a dying reality and a dying multiverse universe, you know. It's like that's almost what I would be more interested in, is like if they brought everybody back at the end of the Aquaman movie and it was almost like Crisis of Infinite Earths, where you just got the white Oblivion wall. I always love that scene with Perez drawing the crime syndicate and Ultraman. You know, everybody's scrambling and running away from the white destruction wall, and Ultraman just turns and he like just walks right into it, and you know is obliterated. And I'm like, that's kind of like, I would like to see that at the end of Aquaman and have like all the Snyderverse superheroes and just this white wall just annihilates all of them. And then right at the end it can be Superman will return in Superman Legacy. But then quotation marks, Henry Cavill will not.
We all love Henry Cavill.
That's how you end this universe. Like James Gunn, if you're listening, somebody add him for me and tell him I've got the perfect way to end Aquaman 2 for him.
in a after credit scene.
Yeah, absolutely, an after credit scene. Like have Affleck, Cavill, Godot, and they're all there, and it's like, what's going on? Just a big white wall of oblivion just washes over.
Don't forget about Shazam.
Oh yeah, Shazam.
That fucking pointless movie. That movie was pointless from the beginning.
God, that was
like even the first one. Like, dude, you're gonna have Shazam in his own movie, and you're not gonna bring in any of the other DC characters. Nothing. Nothing at all.
Headless Superman was in there.
In the second one, because I just watched it on HBO Max.
Yeah.
Mary Marvel is distracted. She is
nice rack.
she is too hot for the movie. She is distracting. Every time she's in the scene, I'm not paying attention to anything else. I'm like, this actress is way too hot for Mary Marvel. You should have just done a Mary Marvel movie instead of
that would have sold.
Shazam 2.
That would have sold better than skinny necked what's his face as Shazam, and he's getting a little long in the tooth too. He's a little too old to pull that.
And the story, which you were talking about before, the story sucked.
Of course it did.
Why is an 18-year-old Billy Batson acting like he's still 13?
Yeah,
he's 18 now.
Yeah,
what is happening? Yeah,
that movie had a lot stacked against, to say the least.
The only thing it had stacked for it was Mary.
Yeah, Mary was stacked. Mary was stacked. Mary was stacked indeed. Well, hey, it's Sunday night, and I've been running around all weekend, so I think we're probably going to just wrap it up a little early this tonight.
You got to show off. You got to show off Superiors.
Oh no! I got to show off. Let's go through Death Raider. Let's go through Death Raider. Yeah, because you know me and forgetting to actually promote the campaigns. I'm the king of that. Let's see here. Oh, come on. You talk about how great an actor Ezra Miller is for a second while I fuddle. Well, and can you imagine being Ezra Miller's agent right now? And like it's done. It's over. Like nobody's gonna put him on a movie. I don't think even they would need to get insurance to cover, because a lot of times you'll have to have insurance for actors or something on a movie. Like insurance isn't going to cover Ezra Miller on a movie because he's become such a liability. And now to see, like, Flash should not have tanked as bad as it is, even though it's a dead universe. Ezra Miller is the reason that it's tanking. And yeah, like his career is over. It's over. He can grow his hair out long and wear some stupid blazer and try to look like a pretty boy at the movie premiere. But yeah, your career is done, buddy. It is done.
Death Raider.
Well, I have a question. What if Ezra's agent is the same guy as Kang's agent?
that guy's got to be like just like chugging like Pepto-Bismol and eating Tums like candy for like all the stress that those actors are putting him through. So
would be fantastic.
The King guy, who knows how that's going to end up. I'm sure he's got high powered lawyers or whatever. But yeah, between him and Ezra Miller, it's like, talk about your career suicides. And I mean, just like the King guy is just becoming something. Ezra had at least been around a little while with the Justice League stuff, but then that guy just turned into a psychopath. So, yeah, I don't know. It'll be. I hope Ezra's done. I can't imagine him coming back from this, but who knows? Who knows?
Yeah. He'd have to do some really low budgety movie where he does like some magnificent.
He'd have to I think he'd have to reestablish himself at the studios, and he probably will get a second chance in a low budget movie.
Yeah, yeah.
And then if he can prove himself there, I mean, these Hollywood people, they always get multiple chances, especially if you know the right millionaire, billionaire producer kind of thing. So
that's true. That's true.
But let's check out Death Raider here. Rob Hunter's Death Raider. I'll scroll through, Rob, and I'll let you. All
right. First, I have an announcement. Death Raider #1 is going to be retitled Death Raider Wars, because that fits better with how I'm fleshing out the second issue, the story for the second issue. So
cool.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. People just, when they get the book, it'll just say Death Raider Wars instead of Death Raider. Literally just going to be adding wars to the title. So
no, that makes more
sense. It makes more sense for the story. But I'm having a blast working on the artwork. I'm doing it pencils, marker, inks, then whiteout. And the markers it's all gray tone. and then it will be in full color. I might color it now, or I'm searching for a colorist, or we might do a tag team. I'm not sure which. I'm still working on that. It's one of those things where it's I'd rather just keep moving forward with the actual gray artwork, and in a month worry about the colors, and just then that we'll deal with the colors and go from there. So, but there's cool Death Raider t-shirt. Anybody who wants a Death Raider t-shirt, and it literally around the hex it says it's time to fuck shit up, which is his catchphrase. Yeah, there you go. You can see it. It's
I
time
can
to
see
fuck
it.
shit up.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
and the guy who designed that t-shirt did an awesome job.
Yeah, those t-shirts look great, Rob.
Oh, thank you. And there's multiple versions of the book. There's the full color version. And then there's the black and white version, and then there's the second cover, which is the people are calling it the Terminator cover. It's the skull cover. That's just Death Raider without his hood and his cape. So it's like he's in his recharging station. That's how I envisioned it when I drew that cover. So
nice.
And I am going to share something. Let's see. Present. Yeah. Share screen. And
yeah, because I know you had some new art here. Let me.
Yeah, this is I had it on Twitter, and this is the Hercules character, and we will be seeing him at the end of. We'll be seeing him at the end of.
Can you zoom in? There we go. Yeah. A lot of detail.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's I was an inker for like 20 some years, so textures and detail are
you knocked that one out of the park, Rob. That is, I saw you post that on Twitter, and that's freaking awesome. You.
But he shows up at the end of Death Raider Wars, and he is the main story element in Death Raider Wars Part 2. It's why I retitled the book Death Raider Wars. I haven't given up on Death Raider. I just think that there's a couple characters that I wanted to introduce, and also because issue 2 of Death Raider Wars is going to be black and white. It's going to be this same style of artwork. There will be no color except for the cover.
With this kind of level of grayscale and everything, you don't need color on these pages. They look awesome the way they are.
It's adapting to. It's adapting to, because I am still under 20K. I'm hovering a little bit more than 17K, and so there's I have to adapt the business model. So and that's life. That's how it's going. So so issue 2 will be it'll be the gray tone stuff. And if it ends up going bigger or just response from fans and stuff, I literally could have a second chance campaign it's in color. Then it could just
always
get color.
Shift gears, depending on how it goes. Definitely.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's the announcement I have for the
Put it on Fun My Comic.
I am going to put Death Raider 1 on Fun My Comic. It's just it's a time thing. Hey, do you want to work on pages, or do you want to throw stuff on Fun My Comic? I definitely know that issue 2 is going to be on Fun My Comic. I haven't decided if I'm going to do Fun My Comic and Indiegogo at the same time. It depends a lot on timing.
And that's the thing, is once you get closer to having it wrapped up, you can there's lots of people that have ran a secondary campaign like towards the end, giving people who've been maybe looking at it, but now the book's going to the printer and all that kind of stuff. You give them that last chance to jump on board. So there's options out there depending on which way you kind of want to go with it. Here's a good question for you, Rob. Is Rob's artwork the toughest to ink for Rob?
I would say no and yes at the same time, because there are places, and you can see it even in this my latest finished piece, the Hercules piece. I don't know when to stop. So when I don't know when to stop, that is
You
when
just
it's
keep
difficult.
going. Yeah. Noodling
Yeah,
and noodling and noodling.
especially because people would say, "Hey, Rob, if you're going to do your own book, you need to streamline your process." And instead of streamlining my process, I added another part to my
Just
process, and
made it
that was
more elaborate.
I did by going in and doing the gray tone marker, and in some places trying to make the gray tone marker pseudo realistic, trying to
Yeah.
using some photo reference. I have made my job even more difficult. And I also like, dude, if you saw all the work I did in the gray markers on the mech, even though I knew I was gonna cover it up with a lot of stuff,
right.
I still was like, I looked at it at the end and I was like, oh, dude, you covered up so much mech detail by just doing the explosion and the impact. That is, it's still a process and I'm still learning. So there might come a time when I just go, well, this is all going to be, impact lines and explosions. So I don't go in and, try to finish everything off in gray marker no, I haven't been shadow banned.
No.
I haven't been shadow banned because I'm not listed in comics.
Yeah.
That
Here's
I'm
the thing
listed.
too is you probably haven't done enough to piss off the SJWs, and
No.
that's always a pro Comicsgate move.
Well, yeah, because I'm still super new to Comicsgate. I've only been live streaming since like November. I'm on Kings though, so I am a little
Yeah.
surprised.
Yeah.
And
No.
only not by from a Indiegogo perspective, but because people tag me on Twitter, and it always makes me laugh because I'm like, I go, dude, if you think tagging me and stuff is gonna help your Twitter, I don't have the following that you might think I have. Which when people tag me because they actually want me to see it, then I'm like, I'll be like, oh yeah, okay, that's cool, But if they think it's gonna help, I'm like, dude, there's a lot of people who have tens of thousands of more followers on Twitter than I have. So that always makes me laugh a little bit.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But I'm not listed in comics. I am listed in books and I'm listed in watches because I have a bunch of watches and stuff for sale in my Death Raider campaign.
So if you need a watch and a Death Raider comic, this is the campaign.
And a T-shirt. I will try to clothe you as much as possible.
You gotta have the combo special: comic book, watch, T-shirt. It's like your burger, fry, and soda.
Exactly.
The Death Raider combo pack.
Yeah,
it looks great.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
So if you guys have not checked out Death Raider, I've got the link in the description now. Rob is killing it on these pages, as you can tell by what he just showed. Yeah, look at like the level of inking, the level of detail, everything that Rob's pouring into these pages. That new Hercules page is just insane. When he showed that on Twitter, every new page that shows up on here is just freaking gorgeous. So if you guys haven't yet, click that link on Death Raider. It is in demand on Indiegogo right now, and this is a book you don't want to miss out on. Rob is pouring everything into this and just making it awesome. And you want to be in the beginning. You want to be one of those first guys that got it right through the first campaign. So definitely click the link and check out Death Raider. Another, like, the amount of detail on these pages, this double page splash. And who are these characters now? This is a new female character, Rob.
This is the Death Squad that is chasing after Death Raider, and they are a bunch of cyborgs.
Yeah, no, they look badass. Dude.
Yeah, when Death Raider, when he loses his legs, they get blown up. They get all fucked up too. So they have to be rebuilt as
rebuilt. Okay. I mean, crazy, like super uber gritty cyberpunk character design, characters. Like, this stuff just looks like totally balls to the wall. I love the designs of these.
Oh, dude, thanks.
In the background.
Thank you.
No,
It's
this is
dude, it's been so much fun. It's so much
Yeah.
fun working on it. This is the kind of stuff that I wanted to work on at Marvel and DC.
yeah.
And I mean, I loved working on Batman. Batman was a blast, but there was,
You would have
every
been
time.
like you would have been awesome on who are those? I'm not going to think of them now. The cyborg characters that were always chasing after the X-Men.
Yeah, the Reavers.
The Reavers. You would have been like
Yeah.
great on a Reavers series, dude. Like
Dude,
looking at some of these-
that was like some of my favorite X-Men stories that
Yep.
never came to be, because how Chris Claremont would introduce all these characters.
Oh, he just
and
jump
you would
around.
see you'd jump around, so you'd get the beginning of the story and then you'd never get the finale.
Yeah, it'd
Like-
trail off into something, one of the other 4 or 5 subplots they had going on.
So these characters literally are influenced by the Reavers.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, Death Raider's influenced by Wolverine. And
Yeah.
I always, like, literally, I don't know why they just didn't do a miniseries where it was them hunting Wolverine, and it was just 4
that would
issues
have
of
been
them
awesome.
just kicking the shit out of each other.
Yep. No, that would have been totally awesome because that kind of gave me those vibes for sure. So
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're supposed to. They're supposed to.
No, I love that. I love this one. That's such a great shot. And I love those green energy claws. Like that's a great design.
They're plasma blades. They're not energy claws.
Okay, plasma blades. Sorry,
I
my
don't
bad.
think it's sued.
My bad.
I don't want to cease and desist.
Energy claws are still different than adamantium claws, and so are plasma blades. Plasma blades are it's an entirely different thing. But I don't care. They look freaking sweet. Speaking of sweet, speaking of my favorite girl waking up in the morning, her hair just perfect.
That's Anna. She's getting an alert.
Yeah.
One of her favorite guys is not doing so well.
I'd like to give her an alert.
She's one of the doctors that oversees the Team Core, which is Death Raider is a MARSOC Marine. Yeah. And it's a team, special forces team. You know how all of our superheroes they always come from some military group. So she's about to find out how what the emergency is, and I actually have pages in the update where the elevator door opens and the look on her face because she sees there's only one guy left on the team and he's all fucked up. Poor Death Raider loses his legs.
Yeah, that's not a way. That's not what you want to have happening.
No. But we should do superiors now.
Here, let me play your trailer here.
Oh.
Oops. Nice. So I've got the link in the description. If you guys in chat and have not checked out Death Raider, it is in demand on Indiegogo currently, so you can still back that book. Definitely click that link and go check out Death Raider. This is an amazing book. Rob's done amazing work on the art. The story's absolutely kick-ass. So definitely
100 pages.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be 100 pages if we ever hit the stretch goals, but we didn't hit the stretch goals, so it is a 64 pager now.
Still,
that's still a ton of work. So yeah, absolutely. You guys definitely check out. And it looks like we got some new people in the chat too. So hail to the chat. American Comics Co. Welcome. Anybody who's new here, if this is your first time checking out the channel, if you can hit that like button and then absolutely hit the subscribe button, trying to build the show up a little bit. So the more subscribers, the better. And if you guys are watching this on the rewind, if you can hit the like button and if you can hit the subscribe, that helps out the channel hugely. I definitely appreciate it. So thank you guys for being here. We love having you guys in the chat on a Sunday night here to wrap up the week of comics with us with Comics Smackdown Live or Smack Talk Live. I should probably try to remember the name of the show, but
I always have to go to YouTube to look at.
At a certain time, my brain just goes in the blender, and it's like, you're lucky if I can remember anything. So, yeah. So yeah, definitely. If you guys have not checked out Death Raider, go hit that up. The link is in the description down below, and we'll give a quick look to Superiors. That is my comic. It is also in demand on Indiegogo. We got it right here.
Clint, have you told us what you're doing next after Superiors?
What's next?
I've got two things that I could do. I'm debating on what I'm going to do.
But it's going to be a big titty book. Right?
There's going to be some hot chicks. Either way, there's going to be some hot chicks in this book. I'm flip flopping. I could do one or the other. One is done. The other one is a lot of it is done. So I'm just kind of debating on what I want to do next. So I'm looking at it'll depend on how quickly I get Superiors out to the printer. If I get Superiors out to the printer in July, and I'm shipping books out by the end of July or beginning of August, I'm looking at the August, September, October time frame for the next book. So I want to do something right away.
That's cool.
It's just going to be a matter of how quick I get Superiors out to the printer and how quick I start shipping. And sometime in that August to October time frame,
you're still gaining backers though at a nice pace, right? Because 21,715.
Yeah, I'm picking up a few here. We're pushing 22,000 now, so I picked up a few.
Where do you cut it off, or do you don't? And you
I will when I'm ready. It'll probably get cut off in July when I'm ready to ship the book, or when I'm ready to send the book to the printer. I want to have those numbers locked in before I send stuff to the print. I don't overprint.
I was going to ask you that because you didn't have any of your other books.
I don't overprint at all. I got so many freaking comics sitting in my room that I don't want. Literally, I'll overprint by maybe 5 issues.
Just for
I cover the orders, and I'll have a couple extras in case there's some damages books or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, that's it. First print run stuff like this. Yeah, there's not going to be. It's going to be print to order. I don't want a bunch of stuff stacked up in here. So
I understand that. I get lots of questions from people because this is still my first campaign asking me about overprinting and will it be available later, and I'm just please just grab it now.
Yeah.
Don't wait until Death Raider 2 to get Death Raider 1.
Because the most I'll do is I'll do a second printing with a variant cover or something that clearly marks that it's not the first printing of the book, whatnot.
Yeah.
How to hand out wrench. Yeah, I literally don't know. Is there a reason you don't have a mod? Yes. The reason literally is I don't know. If somebody,
it's real easy. Just go to the chat, right, and go next to their name in YouTube, not on StreamYard.
Oh, not on chat. That's what's been because I'm trying to do it through StreamYard.
No, you got to do it on YouTube. Then you'll see the 3 little dots next to their name, and you click on those 3 little dots, and then it gives you the option to make them a mod. It's very simple.
Okay. So who asked for this? Is there a reason you don't have mods here?
That's really funny, Clay.
So, Standard one in review.
Yeah, standard. Just make them a standard.
Standard. Okay. Boom, improv. Welcome.
Wait, you gotta give me a wrench too, Clint.
Oh, okay. Where are you at?
Wait, I'll put in a comment right now.
Yeah, you got to put a comment in.
Where's my wrench?
You had done one.
I know, but that was really early. There we go.
Where's his wrench?
I tried
Where's
to
my
do this
wrench?
last week, but I was doing it through StreamYard, so that's
yeah, because you even mentioned that the 3 dots thing, and
Yeah.
you said it wasn't working because you're trying to do it through StreamYard.
Look at that.
Did
We've got mods. This is
Did I get a wrench?
I think so. I just
All right. It's easy to
does
check.
it show if you got it or not?
Well, what it is it'll let me type in deathraider.com.
Oh, type in the links. Yeah.
Yeah, there's
it.
my wrench. Yeah, I just commented again and it showed a wrench. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, put the links in the chat. That would be a pretty professional thing for us to do.
That's so funny, dude. We're so incompetent. Yeah, I was saying that people, this is like you just said, you don't overprint. So if you want Superiors, grab it now. Like if you want Death Raider 1, grab it now, because like I am like streamlining because of the way the campaign has gone, and that's not a complaint. That's we are comic book artists, we are freelancers, and we are businessmen. We adapt to whatever the situation is. So if stuff went crazy, we would adapt bigger. If things are the campaigns are smaller, then the next campaign has to be equivalent to whatever the first campaign did. So don't wait on something. If you like something, you can't assume that 6 months or a year later when we do our next campaign, you'll be able to get like Death Raider 1. I mean, Ethan just tells people, hey, if you don't get, you can get Cyberfrog number 2 or number 3 later, but you'll have to buy it on eBay from the store, and it'll go from $25 to $40 or whatever. And you won't have all the extra cool stuff depending on how large the campaign is.
So Ladies Man is saying you ended Superiors before I could buy it. No, it is actually
in demand.
Yep, it is in demand, but it is shadow banned. So yeah, if anybody wants to post a link in the chat, it's got a wrench now. But if you follow the direct link, you can still pick up the Superiors because it is in demand, but you won't be able to find it in the regular comics section. You'll have to follow this direct link because we are shadow banned on Indiegogo, and the Superiors was shadow banned its entire campaign. I will say this. Superiors was shadow banned from day one on Indiegogo.
Unbelievable.
Slave Girl from Planet X was not shadow banned at all its entire run. I think Slave Girl had about 350 backers for the book. I think Superiors right now is around 310, 315, 320. So as much as shadow banning didn't help us, it didn't hurt us. I think I still am hitting the kind of number of backers that I hit for Slave Girl. The difference with Superiors was I didn't have some of the bigger adult rewards, the additional digital adult comics that I do with some of the more adult comics that I do. So there weren't those bigger tier rewards that like Slave Girl or Blue Bombshell had. So with the next campaign that I do, I'm definitely going to go back to having some of those bigger, cooler rewards with all like the add-ons and the extras, because that definitely does seem popular with a lot of my backers. So Superiors was just basically the straight up comic, and then trading cards and the supplemental books, but it didn't have a lot of that additional content that I put in some of the other books. But backer wise, we still did really pretty close to the numbers that I did on my other books. So I was actually pleasantly surprised about that. I want to thank the backers that have stuck with me through all of these different projects, man. I appreciate you guys being here in the chat, hanging out, back in the book. So like all that's good stuff, man. Love Comicsgate. Love this fan base. We're all here for the same reason. We love comics. We want to see better comics than the crap that Marvel and DC have been churning out.
Oh yeah.
You know, so it's like
dude,
we're
it's
all
so
on the
bad.
same page here, and it's like, you know, we're all rowing the same direction with the same oars, as it were. And yeah, appreciate everybody for being in the chat. If this is your first time here, if you're catching this on the rewind, make sure hit the like, and if you can hit that subscribe button too. We're trying to build the channel up. And Superiors is live in demand on Indiegogo right now. I'll throw the video on here real quick, and then we'll probably close it out for the night here. So I think I'm starting to lose my voice again too, so that's nice. Booyah.
Cool. Dude, I like that trailer. It's a cool trailer.
Yeah, it turned out all right. So yeah, that's it for the show tonight. I want to thank Justin for being here, man. Appreciate you
thank you.
stopping by. If you guys have not checked out Smokes the Fox and what is it?
Weaponized Werewolf.
Werewolf, man. Those books are live on Fund My Comics. I think we got the link in the chat now. Rob's on it, and we got the link in the description below. But yeah, thanks for being here, Justin. The comic looks awesome. Everybody go check that out. Death Raider is in demand on Indiegogo, or Rob Hunter's Death Raider. Awesome book. Hit that link and go check it out. And Superior is also in demand on Indiegogo. So definitely check out these 3 awesome comics. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Everybody have a great Sunday night and a great weekend coming up here. And we are out of here. Good night, everybody.
Later.
And end.